Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. My name is Lucas, and today we're going to be focusing on Framer e-commerce. So we're going to be building this particular section from this beautiful Shopify theme that I found called Eclipse. And we're basically going to be trying to duplicate this section that they have. It's basically for their fall arrival, so you can use this for like a particular new collection or a special type of collection that you want to add to your Framer e-commerce website. And basically we have this section consists of a stack of one stable stack here on the left side and one component here on the right side, which would be this carousel that we see on the right side. So for the sake of this video, we don't want to make it so long. Let's just make it, that this is the end. So we have probably like around 6 items, and all of these items would be dynamic from your CMS. You could eventually connect it to Shopify using a tool called Frameship. You can connect it to Stripe if you'd like to, using a tool called Frameshop, or you can connect it to Lemon Squeezy using a tool like Framer Author or something like that. So, but for today's video, we're just going to connect it to our basic Framer CMS. But just keep in mind that you can connect it to these other tools as well. So let's get started. So I'm going to basically just take like a screenshot of this. I have my camera over here, so I'm going to move that a little bit. I'm going to take a screenshot and like so. So I have a basic idea, and I'm going to go to Framer, and I open a new project, and I'm going to place a screenshot over here to the left side of the screen. And if you guys are interested in, working along or in having this particular component or stack that we're going to be building, please feel free to check out the description below. I will be adding the link to this there. So first things first, let's just add the different viewports. I always like to design responsively, and let's start designing. So if we go back to Chrome, we see that they have a false arrival and a little button over here. It says Shop All. So we can go ahead and start doing that. So let's go to Framer, and let me just put a text. Let's write winter arrivals, because we are right now in December, and we just want to keep ourselves in the season. And right now it's just like randomly in the middle of the canvas. And for you beginners in Framer, this happened to me when I just started using Framer about 2 years ago. I would think that you would have to design it like this, but remember that it's important when you're developing a website to always keep consistent with stacks instead of just putting text freely in the canvas. You have to organize it into little boxes, because you want your site to be perfectly responsive when you're going downwards and when you're also going upwards, right? And if you were to put a text here as an absolute position, as you can see here, it's not really ideal, right? So what you want to do is you want to click on this, fit content, and now as you can see, the content automatically goes into the middle, and the actual size of the frame of the screen fits to the height of the text. So we have our layer. We only have one text. And let me actually go back and take a screenshot of this so we can see this as well in Framer. And this is what I love about Framer as well, that you can bring in screenshots and you don't have to like switch your screen. You don't have to go into Figma or something like that. You can design already inside of Framer. So we have this. Let's bring it down here. We have our winter arrivals, and then we want to put something that says Shop All. And before we get worried about that icon, let's just keep it like this for now. But how can I move this to the side, to the right? Well, before we do that, let's just put everything into its own stack. I do this defaultly always, and we want to call this button, and we want to call this title. And we can make them left and right like this, but then everything in this desktop will be left and right, and we don't want that. We want this to go underneath, right? So let's make another stack on top of this. So it's like their parent stack to go left and right. And this would be called like the header, right? So we can name it like that. We can call it header. And then the header would be on the left and right. And as you can see, the kind of the width of their stacks are pretty wide, like until 50%. That means that they're both fill width. And we want it to be less than that. We want it to, this one to fit the component. So now it's all the way on the right side, and we want this one also to fit the component, the content, sorry. So now everything is fit, but they're in the middle. So let's just put them on the sides by going like this and hitting space between. And now they are both spaced between. And we can add a little bit of a padding everywhere. So we can add like, let's say 40 pixels. And let's increase the size of this font. We can easily see how, how large this font is if we were to go here and we were to inspect, and you can see it's around 40 pixels. So we can put it around there. If you go back to Framer, we can go over here and click on 36, maybe less, I would say. So we have it in our own style. So 24, right? So now we have this first header, which looks great. And it kind of looks pretty good in terms of padding. We can leave it like that. Let me see. Yeah, it does look pretty good. It should be around 40 pixels-ish. Now what we want to do is we want to make the second part. So we have our title. Maybe for the phone, we can, make it like this somehow and put it to the left and maybe add some, add some gap. Can add some gap somewhere. We can do that at the end, but basically I want to add some gap between these two. And right, so we got that. Now let's do the second part like we were saying. So we can delete this first thing, or we can put it above, however we like. Sorry. And now we can do this second part, which I would say, let's just duplicate this. So this would be like the products section, right? And on the left side, it's going to be the, how can we call this? Featured product. And this is going to be its own little component on the left. And it's going to be, let's say we can draw it out like this. It's going to be a frame, which is going to be an image. So we can already draw an image like that. And then what we can do is we can get a text. We can just copy this text. It's kind of going to be the same size. So shop cold jackets. And to make a button like this, the best way is just to right click. Oh, sorry. Before we do that, the best is just to add a stack to this. And then on the stack, fit content, make sure that you actually right click on the stack and not on the text. So fit content. And now we can add the padding everywhere. So I guess on the top, it's going to be about 10, bottom as well. But then the sizing of this will be fill, right? It's going to fill this specific frame. So this frame can have a layout, and it's going to be end. And this, frame is going to have a padding of around 20. And we can fill this width to reach the end. And let's give it a little bit of a border radius, like so, boom. So we have our little left part here. So instead of this winter arrivals text, we can just add this stack in here, boom. And now it basically fits the content of the stack. So that's looking good. All right, and now for this button, this is not going to be a button anymore. There's going to be different little cards, right? So we want to delete this shop all thing, and let's actually adjust the height to be fill, right? Okay, so this part is going to be a little bit tricky. We want this to be CMS linked. So Let's add a collection. Actually, before we do that, let me just delete this collection. And let's just populate it with a default collection, right? Let's delete the categories because we don't need that. So we can go to pages and delete this blog for now. We don't need that. So let's go back to our CMS, delete these categories. And we have these articles. These articles can be our products for now. We can replace the images later, but we're going to refer to these as products. So instead of articles, let's just write products. And again, you can, instead of using this default CMS from Framer, you can use a CMS from Stripe, a CMS from Shopify. So just keep that in mind. In this case, we're going to use the default one from Framer. Okay, before I do that, let me just reduce the gap of this. This has a padding, perfect. Let's actually reduce the padding at the top so it's a little bit closer to this title. Great. And now what we want to do is we want to insert a collection, products collection. Beautiful. So we have, this is basically going to be this, but with a better styling and more fields, right? So what we got to do is we got to adjust the fill to be like this. We open our layers, so we adjusted the fill, and let's call this let's call this for product cards. So our products is going to be filled, and this is going to be the individual product. So every time you edit this, it's going to edit the rest of them. So if I were to go like this, as you can see, they all went like that, right? And for this one, we want to actually make the products go on the right side, just like this. And so we have right now 5, and we want to have 3. So how are we going to do that? That's a good question. Let's just start styling everything first before we actually reach that bridge. So fill width, I'm going to give it a fixed height. I'm going to make this fill. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm going to give this a little bit of a padding on the left side. Maybe like so. Let's make this height fill as well, I would say. So I'm just playing around with this. So we got that. But an important thing that we want to do is we want to actually make this, into a carousel, right? So if we go back to Chrome and we were to scroll here to this section, we have this hover button. And when you click on it, then it hovers to the rest of them. And then when you click here, it hovers back. So basically we need to create something that has like a fixed width. So, and then everything else is going to be kind of hidden on the right side. And when you click here, then it's going to move this, and everything that was on the left gets hidden on the left side. Because we also have this little black thing on the bottom that I want to also try to do here. So I can kind of take a screenshot of this, go back to, oh, we already have it here. So, okay, so we want to do that. What I'm thinking of doing is converting this into a component. So we're going to call this carousel create. And under carousel, let's give it a white fill. And let's make this a fixed width, perfect. And let's give it a height that would be fit content. Why not? So the product, okay, so we need the image to have a fill width. Actually, we need this to be, we gotta mess around with the sizes here. Okay, so we would need something like this. And we would need to start this from the start. Perfect. So we got this going. We got this going pretty well. Now what we want to do is we want to, so if you didn't understand what I just did here, so what I did was I just got this, selected this, and distributed to the start. So we got it like that. And now what we want to do, let's go back home and we want to analyze this part down here. So this is this like line. And we want to make a line that moves, it starts on the left and then moves to the right once you're in the second variant. So we can go ahead and double click on this again. Let's create that frame. That's going to be very, very thin. And we want to put the frame, I would even say, underneath. And let's give it a color. There we go. Like a nice C4. And it would be with fill. Yeah, okay. With fill for now. And then what we want to do is we want to duplicate this. And this one will be an absolute position above this one. And it won't be a with fill, but it would be a fixed width. And it would be dark. So as you can see, I'm kind of like reducing the size of the width. It's going to the right side, but I'm gonna have to move it to the left. And you know what, since it's only 2, we could basically make it relative 50%, so that whenever it reaches that other side, it's gonna be even the space out. So we got the first one done. Let's actually make them a little bit thinner. They seem too thick for me. Maybe 2 pixels would be good. All right, so that's fine. We got that. Let's make this height fit the content, I would say, and give it a little bit of a gap, around 20. All right, and now what we have is we have variant 1, and we want to put variant 2. So variant 2. And variant 2, we'd have to select this product, and this would be the end. Right? As you can see, this orange one still kind of it still is a little bit out of order, so we can maybe make it like this, so everything can be shown, right? We can even give this a padding on the right side as well of 10, so that everything is nice and organized. And boom, we have it looking like this for now. We can, so if I go back home, you can see that red, that black and the gray one kind of apart. What I want to do is I want to go back here, click on this, and distribute space between. And let me go back home, and now perfect. Now everything is at the end. These 2 lines are at the end, and these are in the beginning. Awesome. We can make this height a little bit more, maybe around 400 pixels. I'm just playing around here. Looks good. And now what we want to do is we want to add this frame. We want to add this thing here, right? So it's going to be an arrow over a circle. Nothing fancy. We don't have to do, you can do this effect, but for this video, I'm just going to add an arrow. I don't want to, put so much work into it. So what can we do? So let's go back to Framer. Let's go back here and let's draw a frame around 44 pixels. Make it radius about 50, so it's completely a circle. And now what I want to do is I want to insert a icon. So if we go click on icon, I'm gonna go to, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna click here, right, arrow, right, and then make this dark. Put this in here, decrease the size to about so. So we got our arrow. Let's actually call it arrow. And let's bring it in here. So the arrow's in here. Where is it? I don't know, because it's relative. So let's make it absolute. And let's increases the index so we can see it. I still don't see it. Interesting. So, okay, oh, because it's inside of this. So let's just put it like this. No, let's go back a bit. Control Z, Command Z. Okay, perfect. So let's put this at a stack. Stack won't have a color. Now what we can do is bring in the stack. The stack should be above. There we go. Absolute. Now we want to put it in the middle and right side and middle. No, right side. There we go. All right, and now we want to put it like 20 pixels from the right. So boom, that's our little indicator to move to the right. So right, and this one is going to have it as well. And actually we want to duplicate this and put this one 20 pixels from the left. We want to mirror this. Let's just go like this. It's no biggie. And for this screen, we want to make it not visible. And here we want to make this not visible. But we want to make this one visible by going like this. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It should be visible. Why isn't it visible? Maybe because I hit this. Boom. Okay. So we have right and we have left. Not right, left. This should also be called left now. Perfect. So as the user clicks on this right one, interaction. So we're going to call this variant 1, variant 2. As the user clicks on the right arrow from variant 1, click once, 0 seconds, set to variant 2. And then again, interaction, new transition, click once, variant 1. So it's going to be that nice little thing. Oh, and we forgot about the line. Let's do that. So the line should go to the right side. And it should be 10 pixels, perfect. So it should be like that. Let's go back home. Let's play this. And boom, how do you guys like it? Looks pretty cool to me. All right, so we got that like initial setup going, right? So if we go back to our Chrome, we have, you know, the specific, this thing working. It might not be as smooth as this. We can adjust that by going back to Framer and going to our component and actually editing the interaction, right? So we can click here and we can set the delay. You know, we can set the delay a little bit. Or we can, I think, go somewhere down here and adjust. No, it's not for this one. So it's basically setting the delay. But I think that the animation is pretty dope. So we can leave it like that. I just want to now basically add a few different, things to this card. So we have like this part over here. So let's just use this one. We have these three different options, the title and the price. So we need to add certain things to our CMS collection. So if I can just bring this over here, we have our title. I don't really like I think the font is pretty standard. We can adjust that by going to this, maybe making it 14 pixels, like super small like this one. And then let's duplicate this. So we have a second field here. And what we want to do is we want to go to our CMS and we want to edit fields, add field. Let's add we can add a number. Actually, no, let's not add a number. Or should we? No, let's not add a number because there's no currency. What we can do, maybe a formatted text. No, I'm just trying to see what's like the best thing to use for this. We can just add a plain text. So we can call this price. So the price, and for the price, let's just make this one about $29.99, and let's give a price to everything so it seems more legit. So $19.99, this is going to be $39.99, and so on and so forth. Let me just complete the rest. Also, some of these cards have like this little discount thing, and we can add that as well. Some of them will have it like these two, some of them won't. And in order to do that, what we can do is we can actually go back to Framer and edit fields again, add a new plain text. Let's call it discounted price, and give the discounted price to this one, for example. So this can be, instead of $29.99, $24.99. So $24.99. And this one can also be a discounted price. So let's also give it like a $29.99. And this one as well, why not? So this one will be $19.99, right? So that's another thing that we can add. And to do these different pictures, right? We need different pictures for, we need actually two other pictures, because this is the main picture. It's going to be one, and then two others. So we already have a main picture, main image. We can call this main or cover image. And then what we can do is edit fields and add a new image. This would be image 2, and then a new image 3. So we have image 2, image 3. So what I can do is I can just, I'm just going to populate this with random images. I guess that for this tutorial, for the download link, for the remix link that will be in the link in the description below, it'll be real products, so you guys can have an actual legit, cool looking section, right? So in this case, I did actually something pretty special. For some of them have 2 images, like these two. Some of them don't have anything at all, and one of them has only 1 image. So let's see how we're gonna, draw that out into our little dynamic CMS design. So we're gonna have to link this. Right now it's linked to the title. So we're gonna have to link this to our set variable to price. So now we have the price. But we have this other price right here. And it's gonna be $36. So we're gonna have to set filters for this. So what we can do is we can go back to Framer and we can duplicate this, and let's put this price, and let's put this one as discount, and let's put this into its own little stack that's going to be horizontal like this, and let's give this one a color, right? Let's give it like a nice, not so bright red like this, and boom, this is going to be content set variable discounted price. So this is going to be shown. So some of them is shown, some of it isn't shown. So what I want to do is the following. I want to make another one that's like this. So it's going to be the price, but it's going to have a specific styling. So we can go back to Framer, we can get this, we can duplicate this, turn this one gray, and give it a specific text decoration, I think it's called. Yeah, text decoration. And then this one is going to be, we're going to set the visibility, create set visible if the discounted price is set. And this one is going to have a visibility set visible if the discounted price isn't set. So now some of them are going to be like this, some of them aren't, right? So that's the first step that we tackled, which is pretty good. So let's continue with this, with these different images. So what I want to do is the following. I want to just make like a little rectangle like this, a little square, sorry. Make it around 25 pixels, give it a radius of around 25 pixels, so it's a circle. Let's add a stack. The stack is not going to be without a it's going to be without a background color. And let's duplicate this. I'm just trying this. I'm not sure if this is the right solution. Let's just see. So I'm going to fill this image, set variable to image, cover image. Cool. Set variable to, where is it? Oh, here it is. Set variable to image 2 and set variable to image 3. And then, for example, if these two, I don't want it to be empty like that. What I want to do is I want to add a condition here. So based on the visibility, if there's no image 2, if there is an image 2, set the visibility to yes. If there isn't, then make it away. Do the same with this. Image 3 is set. Boom. So now these only have 1, and these has 3, this has 2. That looks beautiful for now. We can even add for each one of these a nice little border. I think theirs was black. Yeah, black when selected. I mean, we can do this too. It's just going to take a little bit more time, and I don't want to spend so much time on this tutorial, but this is also definitely possible to actually build. We can even make it, well, let's make it dark like this. That looks good. And now what we want to do is we want to set the visibility. So if you were to click on this one, this would be the green picture. If you would click on this one, then it would be the pink picture. So that's going to be the next step. In order to do this properly, we would have to get this, turn it into a component. Let's call it like product card. And I just want to see if this is working. Okay, so product card. So this is going to be quite challenging. So let's just do variant 1, variant 2, and variant 3. There's 3 variants. This one is going to interaction, new transition, on click, variant 1. This one, interaction, new transition, on click, variant 2. This one, interaction, new transition, on click, variant 3. Let's just try to see if this works. I really hope so. So if we go here, it should work, right? So the reason why it's not working here is because we didn't really set an image. So this image would be cover image. This one would be not the cover image. It would be image 2. And this one would be not the cover image, but image 3. So let's go back here and let's see if it actually works. It works. So that's how you would do it. Boom. So yeah, that's basically it. I just replaced a few images here. Maybe I'm gonna add some nice border radius here. And we have a nice little section here that you can use for your e-commerce project. So now, you know, it's really big to actually build e-commerce projects with Framer, with all these new tools that are coming out. So this is a great little section that you can have in your e-commerce project. I hope you guys learned today, and I hope, if you have any feedback on how I teach, please let me know in the comments. I'll be more than happy to read and always get better every day. And I hope you guys like this content. Feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, the link to this is in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching this whole thing. And yeah, hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.